The lonely road to success. Success. It's not for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for those who need constant reassurance, applause, or a crowd to keep them moving. Because the road to success is lonely. It's hard. It's quiet. You'll lose people along the way. You'll be misunderstood. There will be days when no one believes in your dream. Not even the people closest to you. But that's okay, because success doesn't come to those who follow the crowd. It comes to those who are brave enough to walk alone. Through the fear, through the doubt, through the silence. No cheering, no spotlight, just grit. Just a fire in your soul and a purpose in your heart that refuses to die. No matter how dark it gets. You have to be your own motivator. Your own believer. You have to be willing to keep going when no one is clapping, when no one is watching, when no one is offering to help. That's what makes success so special. It's not handed to you. It's earned in the moments no one sees, in the pain, in the grind, in the silence. So if you feel alone right now, if the road feels tough, good. You're on the right path, because greatness, it's never crowded. Walk alone, fly higher. Most people follow the crowd. They chase trends, they seek approval, but in doing so, they lose themselves. You will never know who you truly are if you're always trying to be like everyone else. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand out. You weren't made to follow. You were made to lead. Those who fly alone have the strongest wings, because they've learned to lift themselves when no one else was there. Those who walk alone have the clearest direction, because their path isn't shaped by noise, distractions, or doubt. It's shaped by purpose. Walking your own road might be lonely. You might feel misunderstood. You might feel like you don't fit in. But that's not weakness. That's rare strength. It means you're brave enough to trust yourself, bold enough to take risks most wouldn't, strong enough to not need constant validation. True potential, the kind that changes lives, is only unlocked when you stop living for others and start living for you. So don't be afraid to stand alone. Don't fear being different. Fear being just like everyone else, because only those who dare to walk alone will ever discover how far they can truly go. Strong alone, unshakable within. You don't need validation to grow. You don't need applause to rise, and you sure don't need attention to survive. True strength, it's built in silence. It's built in those quiet moments when no one is watching. When no one believes in you, except you. It's easy to keep going when the world is cheering. But what about when it's just you? No encouragement, no support, no spotlight, just grit, just heart, just you and your fight. That's where the strongest people are forged. In the shadows, not the spotlight. In the struggle, not the comfort. If you've ever had to stand alone, if you've ever been doubted, ignored, or overlooked, then you know what it means to dig deep and discover something unshakable inside yourself. That's real power. That's the kind of strength no one can take away. Because when you fought alone, you know what you're made of. You don't just think you're strong, you know you are. Because you've been tested. You've been through the storm, and you came out stronger, wiser, tougher. So don't waste energy trying to prove yourself to people who weren't there for the struggle. You don't need their approval. You've already earned something greater, your own respect. And that's the foundation of a life no one else can shake. Believe in you. That's enough. You don't need them to believe in you. You don't need their approval. their applause, their validation. What you need is you. Your belief in yourself is the foundation. Because if you've got your own back, truly, deeply, there's nothing and no one that can stop you. When you stand tall in who you are, when you stop shrinking to fit in, when you speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, that's when the world takes notice. People aren't inspired by perfection. They're inspired by authenticity, by courage, by raw truth, by someone who walks their own path, no matter how rocky it is. Believe in yourself so strongly that doubt becomes a whisper, and fear becomes fuel. Because the most powerful force in the world is a human being who knows exactly who they are, and refuses to be anything else. So forget the doubters, ignore the noise. You don't need a cheer squad. You are your own fire. Be real. Be bold. Be you. Because when you are, you don't just light your own way. You light the way for others too. Strength is forged in darkness. I had to go deep into the darkness. And because of that, I have depth. Pain changed me. Not in a way that broke me, but in a way that built something stronger inside me. The struggle, the nights no one saw, the battles no one knew I was fighting. They gave me something most people never find: inner strength. You don't get depth from comfort. You don't build unshakable character by cruising through life. It's the moments that nearly broke you that shape the version of you standing here right now. And that version? Unbreakable, unstoppable, unshaken by what used to tear you apart. When you go through real pain, when you walk through the fire and come out the other side, you gain something no one can take from you: resilience. You become solid from the inside out. So when the world sees you standing tall, they may not see what it took for you to get here, but you know. You know how deep you had to dig. You know the darkness you had to face. And because of that, you fear nothing. You've already met the storm. You've already faced the shadows. And now, you are the storm. That's the beauty of struggle. It doesn't just give you scars. It gives you depth. It gives you power. It gives you truth. And that's why nothing can break you now. The gift of darkness. Sometimes the darkest moments teach us the brightest lessons. When you've walked through life alone. When you've faced storms without a hand to hold. When you've cried in silence because no one else could hear you. You begin to see people differently. You start to value kindness more. You start to cherish the ones who stay, even in silence. You appreciate a smile, a check-in, a genuine "how are you?" Things you may have once overlooked. That's the gift hidden in your hardest days. Compassion. Because once you've known real struggle, once you've fought silent battles, you stop judging so quickly. You learn to listen deeper. You become the one who lifts others, because you know what it feels like to fall. You develop a heart that sees pain behind the smiles. You recognize strength in quiet fighters. You offer light because you remember how it felt in the dark. And that is power. Not the power to dominate, but the power to understand, to connect, and to love more deeply than ever before. You are not bitter because of what you've endured. You are better because you chose to grow through it. So walk forward with your scars, your wisdom, and your compassion. They are not weaknesses. They are the reasons others will feel safe, heard, and seen when they meet you. And that's how you change lives. Not in spite of your pain, but because of it. Pride in the fight. I'm proud. Not because I've won it all, but because I never gave up. I'm proud. Not because everything went my way, but because I kept going anyway. You see, real pride doesn't come from trophies or applause. It doesn't come from likes, followers, or fancy titles. Real pride comes from within. It's the quiet confidence that says, I stayed true to myself. It's knowing that when life got heavy, you didn't crumble. When no one believed in you, you believed in yourself. When quitting felt easier, you chose the hard road, the right road. That's where the pride is. Not in perfection, but in persistence. Not in having all the answers, but in never stopping the search. Not in being the strongest, but in being unbreakable in spirit. I'm proud because I've faced the storm, and I'm still standing. I've walked through the darkness, and I didn't lose my light. I've been tested, doubted, and pushed to my edge, but I refused to break. That's the kind of pride no one can take from you. Because it's not about what you've done in the world. It's about who you became through the struggle. And if you've kept your heart, your honesty, and your hope through it all, then hold your head high, because that is the truest victory.